everyone and welcome to today's video, which is my last monthly wrap-up of 2023. It's finally the December reading wrap-up time, but I can't believe how quickly the year has gone. I swear I say that in every monthly wrap-up because I'm like, how is it already the next month? But as of today, it is the 29th of September and I don't think I'll finish another book before the end of September. September? What am I talking about? Sorry, it's the 29th of December and I don't think I'll be able to finish any more books before the end of the month. So I ended up reading 7 books this month. So let's get through all of their ratings and my thoughts. And the first book I read was actually an audiobook, and this was Lovelight Farms. I loved this. I ended up giving this a 4.5 stars. It was the perfect, cozy, cute little Christmas rom-com, and it's set at a Christmas tree farm, which I just loved. And it was just so cute. And this is actually the first in a series, so the rest of the series isn't based around Christmas, I believe, but it follows like other people that we have met in this first book. And so I'm really excited that it is like a companion series because I didn't know that when I first read this book. So I really want to read the sequels, and I believe Business Casual, which is maybe the 3rd or 4th book, I think it's the 4th book, comes out in 2024. And all the covers are so cute and I just love all the characters as well, so I'm really looking forward to continuing this series. But Lovelight Farms, I loved it so much that I feel like I need a physical copy because I want to read it again next Christmas. Like, I loved it that much. It was like a perfect Christmas rom-com. It felt like watching a Christmassy movie, and that's what I want. It was like a movie in my head and I loved it. And the next book I read was another Christmas book, which I started in my Christmas reading vlog, and that is Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. I ended up quite enjoying this and I gave this a 3.75 stars. And I loved like the storyline of trying to get a band back together, and the reality TV show, and the New York City setting, which I absolutely love, in winter as well, which is just a bonus, and in Christmas. It was all like perfect vibes. The only thing that I didn't love about it was that the main characters' names were Beat and Melody. I just like couldn't get past the names. I struggle with weird names sometimes, and that one was just like a bit odd. But otherwise, I quite enjoyed the storyline and I quite enjoyed the New York setting, as I said before, because I just love New York, and Christmas in New York is something that I've always wanted to do, and I've never actually read a book that's set in New York at Christmas, and I really want to go to New York at Christmas, so it was like I was there, and I loved that about it. The next 2 books I actually read on my Kindle, but I do have physical copies, so I am going to hold up the physical copies, but I read Selection, and I've been wanting to read this for so long. I swear on like 2 or 3 of my TBR videos that I did where I picked like prompts out of a jar, I ended up like choosing this book to read, but I never actually got around to reading it. And if you don't know what this is about, it's like a dystopian book where it follows royals in like The Bachelor. So the prince has all these girls from like the country, and it's like The Bachelor vibes. And it was fun, but you can tell it's like for a younger audience, but it was still so enjoyable. Like, it was basically like a reality TV show. There was like so much drama. And there's also a love triangle, which I had heard about when going into the books, but I was like annoyed, especially in the second book, The Elite. The love triangle was getting to me in The Elite, and I'm not a hater of a love triangle. I do like quite enjoy them, but I just didn't like it in this book. Like America, her name's America Singer, and she's a singer, which I just think is weird anyway, but the love triangle, like the choices that she was making, it just made me a little mad sometimes, but overall these books were enjoyable. I do have the last one, which is called The One, but I haven't actually read this yet. I'll probably get to it in the new year. I assume we'll know how it ends, since that one is called The One and she's in a white dress, which I'm assuming means a wedding. But there we go, The Selection and The Elite. I ended up giving The Selection 4 stars and I ended up giving The Elite 3 stars. So yeah, I did enjoy this one a lot more, but this one, it just kind of like was so repetitive with the love triangle business. And the next book I read was another book that I read on my Kindle, and I was reading this when I was at the airport. I was reading it on the plane, and it was like so stressful, so crazy, and that would be How Does It Feel? This was madness. I don't know if anyone else saw that TikTok of that girl when she was in the kitchen and she was like freaking out over this book. I was intrigued after seeing her reaction, and I was like, I need to find out what's happening. Like, how could a book give you that reaction? And then I was reading it, and like throughout the whole book I was like, oh yeah, it's a fantasy book. And it was like as I expected it to be. But then we're getting towards the end, and then some things get revealed, and then some more things get revealed, and then there's plot twists on plot twists, and I was like, what? Hello, baby. She's come to join us to talk about how crazy this book was. She's that short you can't even see her. I'm literally sitting on the floor and this is the top of her head. She's a tiny little baby. Come here. Yay. So back to this book. When I was reading it at the airport, I thought I was going to lose my mind. I went to my parents and I was like, I don't even know what's happening right now. This is the craziest thing. And I was shocked. I was shocked and surprised, and I felt like I should have taken more consideration into the reaction that that girl had, because I don't know why I didn't expect to be shocked. Because like sometimes I can guess a plot twist, and I thought I did, but I did not. The plot was twisting in directions I couldn't even imagine, and I was so shocked. I believe this is going to be a series. I don't know when the sequel's going to be out. I'm excited for it when it comes out because, oh, so much has happened and I don't even know what to say. I barely even said what this book is about because I'm just rambling about how crazy the ending was. But this is a fantasy book that follows our main character, Callie, who is a researcher of moths. I don't know if she's like a biologist or something, but she wants to find these moths. And one time she happens upon these rare moths and then like transports into the fairy realm, and then she gets mistaken for an assassin and she's like in prison in the fairy realm. Crazy things happen, right? And I was just so shocked. Oh, I literally can't believe it. Honestly, like just thinking about everything that has happened in that book. Madness, madness, I tell you, madness. So I ended up giving this book a 4 stars, and I would have given it a higher rating, only that I felt that was a bit slow at the beginning when she was like still in the human realm. I was like just waiting for her to go into the fairy realm. And when she did, the plot picked up. It was crazy. Oh, there's literally so many plot twists. I almost forgot about like some things that had happened, and now I'm remembering them, and it's crazy. So if you have a Kindle and you haven't read this book yet, what are you doing? Because it was absolutely wild. Would definitely recommend, because like that, I'm so shocked, as you can tell. I like can't form words. Anyway, the next book I read is a book I got for Christmas, and it is a children's book. It's the Taylor Swift little biography from the Golden Books. How cute is it? It's like 20 pages or something, and the illustrations are just so cute. Let me show you. Like, look, how fun is that? I will be reading this to the future children. I might even make my children, when I'm a teacher, sit down, have circle time, and I'll read this. Because, hello, I love Taylor Swift. It's just so cute. Maybe I will put this in display in my classroom, but I will be forcing my own future children to read this book. It was so cute and I love it. So that's going to be on display up on my bookshelf, because how cute is that? I gave it a 5 stars because it's Taylor Swift, but it is a kid's book as well, so I don't know if that counts as like a 5 star, but it's good. I like it. And then the last book that I read this month was a fantasy book, and I did mention this in my anticipated releases for 2024 because it is coming out in 2024. It's coming out in February, and you should all be so excited for it because it was so good. It was so good, and that is The Crimson Moth. But this is a romantasy, a romance fantasy, a fantasy romance. So good. It follows a witch and a witch hunter. There's like secret identities involved and mysterious plots, and it was just so good. I really enjoyed this. I was literally about to film my 5-star reads of 2023 video a couple days ago, and I'm glad I waited because this was a 5 stars. I enjoyed this so much. I cannot wait for the sequel because the ending was a bit crazy, and as I was saying before, that usually I can guess a plot twist. I did guess the plot twist in this, but I liked how it worked out and I was really happy with it. The story has gone in directions that I want to see, so I'm very excited about it. So this book does come out at the end of February in Australia, but in the US, I'm not too sure when it comes out, but I do know that it is a different title. It's called The Heartless Hunter in the US, I think, but here it is called The Crimson Moth. So keep your eye out for both those titles depending on what country you're in, because I don't know what the title will be. The Crimson Moth. Oh, it's so good. So good. And it made me feel like so excited to read when I wasn't reading. If I was doing something else, I would be thinking about how excited I am to get back to this book. It was just so good. I loved it. And it made me feel the same way as Fourth Wing kind of did, about like how excited I was to get back to this book. So Phoebe's leaving me. Yeah, it just made me feel the way Fourth Wing did, which I know is like a big thing to say because everyone loved Fourth Wing and I did as well. But this was just so good. I mean, I love a fantasy with witches in it anyway, and this was just like such a great one. So I would definitely recommend to keep your eye out for it in February, because it was so great. But those are all the books that I've read in the month of December. I would love to know what books you've read this month as well, or if you got to any Christmassy books or any holiday themed books. Would love to know what they are as well. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, because I do post every Saturday, but I will be posting a lot more in the coming weeks because obviously end of year wrap ups, beginning of the year TBRs. I've got lots to film and lots to upload, so you should definitely stick around. But I will see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye.